Oh, they did have their own okay. Yeah, well, when things work, right? What kind did you get?
Energy boost.
Perfect.
Has ashwagandha in it, or however you say it.
It's the opposite of energy boost. It's not a calming adaptogen. I don't know, but I love it. You came out of that. Calm.
I was taking it for energy, but there's something else to it, and because I didn't know that. Then I was taking the gummy, I was taking it. I love that. It was good for libido, I eat it.
How about that? I love that. Little known fact about
Get
it.
extra in the mood, it may be ashwagandha.
There you go.
Wanted to do.
There you go. I remember when we tried to, one of those things. We're not, we're from Morehead City. Yeah. Yeah.
Just referred somebody over there. Paul.
Well, great.
You should have done.
There you go. Love that.
Love it.
There you go. Such a great area. It is.
They were over in Bath.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So me and Brian, we host a radio show that plays once a week on nextdoorradio.com at 10 a.m. on Monday.
Nice.
Would you guys like to be on?
Oh, I'd love for you to send us the information.
Okay, we only have 3,000 listeners right now. We started our first show was back in October with 0 listeners.
There you go. Tell me what are the themes of your show? What is it?
So basically it starts out with a market update from a lender. An attorney come in and give a speech of a good tip of the week. And then we let everybody know what's going on in the local market, and then you have a guest coming in for the last 30 minutes.
That's so cool. That's a really great idea. And who's your audience?
So right now it's mostly the legal area. So, but it does, there is people that listen coast to coast, but it's mostly the triangle.
Cool.
So, and the demographics, all ages.
We know a lot of folks that live here also, second homes or the coast a lot. So that would be, that's really cool.
So we've had, we had Trevor on there last month. We've got Mark King on this Friday.
Nice. Cool.
We've got we're trying to lock him down to a date.
Did he just come here?
Yeah.
Didn't he just?
That's why I met him.
Cool.
It's
Love
fun.
that info.
We would maybe even travel to your office and record it right there. So we record it on Friday and then we edit it and then send it over to the radio station.
Nice. That's really cool. That is neat.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's smart. It's a good creative outlet. It's fun to do that. It's like you're providing value to people.
And it ties in directly. So it's also a good sales tool. Once we edit it, then I will email you a a commercial free episode, and then you can chop it up and use it to promote hobbies.
Smart. That's awesome. Great.
Hello, we brought assistant, huh?
I wouldn't say that. I'm the assistant.
I'm Brian.
Hey, I'm Meg.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you, Mary. Saw you on yesterday on. So we had a little gas leak out there, so I with that, and if people are kind of ready to come by or what, but they came in and checked us out and said we were good to go, so.
Wow. What was happening? I was curious if it was construction or.
No, we're gonna pop it up online, I guess.
Yeah, we can, I mean, we don't have to start right at 10:30.
So you gotta get a couple, you're gonna go do,
We're going to Blake Market Center this afternoon, and then tomorrow morning we're going to Matt, period.
okay.
And then we're gonna be back home in town for dinner. So we just decided to do like stop by here, you know,
Yeah, on the way.
in our way, on our
Right.
on our way in town.
Yeah.
Go first, teach in Winston, and then come back.
Oh, so you're gonna walk to Winston, you're not gonna do Chapel Hill then?
Do that on the way back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, not, you're right.
Because
I'm
Blake
sorry.
has both of those.
Exactly, we're doing Winston, and then on the way back, we're going to Matt, and I don't know whether Matt, Chapel Hill, I don't know how they're doing that.
Probably, it's not that far.
Yeah,
It's just right on the street, basically.
yeah.
With all the stoplights, it takes like a half hour.
No, no, no. Yeah,
So,
we're not used to traffic old tiny town, so.
but you have time?
Yeah, we do, but we don't have to go very far ever. It's usually like a 5-mile span wherever you have to.
I've driven City, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I've been through there like 3 or 4 times, especially in the summertime. I guess traffic is. Used to ride motorcycle up there and stuff like that, so. That cousin was down in Swansboro, so.
such a
that
cute
was-
area.
Be a nice little, just kind of drive up, drive back and,
Yeah,
kind of like a little,
yeah.
then get up into, it's on the other side of the bridge.
Atlantic Beach.
Yeah.
Yep, and then Beaufort on the.
Yeah, we go there as well.
Yeah.
So how's the business for you guys? Has it been slower or same or?
A little bit slow, but by and large, I mean, it's been the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're down about, like last month, we'll see if the numbers come out here again, but we were down like 49% last month. Really when November, that was when we just kind of noticed that it actually was gonna go up. Until then, it would do really well. We use a guy to Michael Sargent, who's up out of DCC, but he does a lot of our CA stuff. And he was saying that we were doing way better than most. He said so. Because at first I was like,
Right,
crap.
right.
But we were really confident, because that's the key. Is that you are, and we heard yesterday on we call it that.
Is that right? Yeah,
So quite-
yeah.
so quite a few.
A lot of the tech down the OP Tech sort of them on, are talking about that things are better. Like that April's stacking up to be better. March is actually maybe gonna turn out okay.
Our mortgage been getting a lot of applications, but of course, getting them approved has been an issue, on this buy side. On the sell side, he had said, I don't know where he got the number from, but 60 mortgages in the United States have a 2 or 3 in front of them. So that's gonna be the difficult thing for people to sell when they have to double their interest rate, so. Hey, Mitch.
Interesting. Good morning. That is interesting. That is interesting. I wonder how much, a lot of the sellers that are actually getting out of the market. Taking them.
Yeah. That's why I was wondering how.
Yeah.
So they're done right now, is what they're doing, basically.
Well, not necessarily, I don't think that they are, but just that innately, a lot of our sellers are getting. I mean, a lot of our sellers are always on how to get at the coast. A lot of them are. Right, yeah, regardless of the market, they're selling.
So stop like all the D folks and folks, or you still see that they're pretty active in the market.
You don't see a lot of people buying for that this Monday because prices have got high.
Yes.
Just being able to cash flow and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's still some folks doing it.
Yeah, we bought a couple up in the mountains, and so then we've been looking on the beach, but we just never find that. You said that just cash flow, because even Well, the HOA is all the time, about these places, they were raising the HOA fee
Yeah.
going, so it's like, you're killing us because you can't get in, it's just a break even.
I'm gonna leave this.
Nobody wants to do a break even.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, unless you know your property value is gonna increase.
Right,
substantially.
right.
This is yours.
Yeah.
Let me see what happens here. I'm gonna hit escape, okay?
Yeah.
We can have it up ready.
She came and worked some magic, so thanks to.
What I want.
I just don't know if they can see our screen, that's the only thing. Unless they can see ours. I don't have a touch. I ordered.
You go.
Who's our cousin? Typical setup, yeah. I know.
Better set up. So good.
I was about to ask
I
that.
know, I don't know.
I'm sure Hope is. I don't even know her, the technology side.
I don't think she is, and not feel bad, we did not use, the quote name in her.
Where did you?
Wrong. Smart Solutions, I think is the name. Cool. This is, yeah, I don't know, even more than. I mean, almost more. Yeah, she's in charge. She just tells me what to do. Which is great.
Oh, it's a for the presentation.
Yeah.
It's a tab in the browser. Yep, and then it's, yes, you know. I think there should be a full screen. X. And then. Does that work with your video and
What are we struggling with then?
I want to get her, their presentation up on the street here. Like.
He moved a little bit up. Is it sharing?
It's paused right now. Pause. Come on, that should be here.
No, but it's still cool,
That's to us.
Yeah, no.
You got a minute?
When is it?
September.
Because Mary, it's sharing.
Good,
so you
okay.
You can just hit it,
We
right?
need to pick the microphone up here, again, Grant, I don't know.
No, I don't.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
Yeah, so September.
You're running.
It's already, like, there's my thing.
Right of it. Yeah. It's by two things, like 2000. That's really, really cute. How many people are coming? 20. She's fine. 20 people are coming. That's gonna be fun.
You wanna wait?
That's totally up to you. We are like,
We're good. If we just leave around 11-ish, we should be good.
All right, well, everybody, thank you for coming. This is Mary Cheatham, who's our top. Good morning. And she is here to teach us the top for this business.
exactly right. And this is Meg Bradley, our marketing director. Yeah, and so we're excited to be here. Yes, we're just gonna walk y'all through kind of what has worked for us.
Yes, and really quick before we get started, how many of you guys are on a team? And how many are your solo agents? Great, good to know. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, so MC, will you walk us through kind of why this matters? Why the numbers matter? So we really
Yeah.
talk about them.
This is just a you know, the part where every presenter comes and tells you why you should listen to what they have to say. This is just kind of showing the general trajectory of our team. From 2016, when we first launched and we did in volume, to this past year when we did 218 million in volume. So a lot of growth every short period of time, and we feel like a lot of that is due to our consistent marketing that are working through the community.
Yep. And then will you tell everyone a little bit about our area? 'Cause it's a little different than Raleigh.
Yeah. So we are from Carteret County, which, if y'all know, we're Beaufort, North Carolina, Morehead City, Emerald Isle, Atlantic Beach, Pine Shores, Newport. Those are all areas that we cover. And those are areas that are a part of Carteret County, which have a population of approximately 68,000 folks. And so this is our market. So based on unit count, we're at 8.8% of the market, and based on volume, we're at 11.7% of the market.
And we're telling you guys these numbers because not to, who cares about them, honestly,
Right.
but we're saying it to show you guys how, what we're about to share with you today through our pillars of marketing. We're sharing
How
we got
effective it
here.
is.
Yeah.
How effective these.
Yep.
So I think what we all know is that when you guys are working with a buyer or a seller, it's your market knowledge, right? It really is what sets you apart from other people, really what lets you do a great job for them. But I think the question and where we all struggle is, how do you show you when they're not transacting business? Right. And so I think the numbers are maybe said at one point it was in a full-time residential community, people move every 7 years. So how do you fill the gap in 2.5 years when they're not actively buying or selling? Right.
Yep. And then that chart that you were talking about, how do you make it so it's not like this?
Yeah. So you guys, how many of y'all have had this experience in real estate where you awesome month, right? And you just close these and then you turn around and realize your pipeline is empty. You have nothing else closing because you've been so finding a great experience for those clients that you haven't been filling your pipeline. And a lot of times it's because you haven't been doing the activities. We all know about lead generation and that part of things, right? The personally contacting folks. That is not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about mass communication and the things that you need to do from a marketing standpoint, prospecting standpoint. We're talking about marketing, how to keep your business moving forward. Great. So what we feel like is that when someone's not transacting, the really easy way to stay engaged is to be their guide to your community.
Yep. So we're talking about the relationship, and we're talking about how to get in front of these people in your community in a way, especially in a shifting market, as we're approaching. We can do this at little to no cost. And we're going to show you how to do that.
Exactly right.
First, a little bit mindset shifting. This is something that our coach, we have a MAPS coach. His name's Jordan Wonderful. And he mentioned this up to me a couple of weeks ago. And I wanted to share it with you guys because it kind of transformed how I look at marketing and how, as a team, we approach the marketing process. So to be process minded versus outcome minded. So I don't know if you guys have read The One Thing. Is it in The One Thing or is it in
I think it's in The One Thing.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So if you read The One Thing, you guys might have heard that pottery story. So there was a pottery class and the instructor split them in half. They told half the class to make make one perfect pot. And they took the second half and they told the class to make as many as you possibly can. You get, graded on the weight of how many you make. So at the end of all of it, the people who made the pot are the people who made it more. It was the process. They, honed their craft and they, practiced making something to be picked. So in March, all that we're about to talk about with social media, with emails, with video, and then, newsletter creation, it's the process instead of the end result. So how many people gauge the success of the post based on how many likes you get? I do too. Yeah. So this whole concept is the process, however many times you post, is more important than how many likes you get. Has anyone heard of Ken Pozek? And it's big on YouTube, huge agent that just rejoined Keller Williams. And he had this whole process mind approach. He's like, I'm going to post 100 videos on YouTube with no goal of likes or comments. And by the end, by his 100th video, of course, he had organically grown his following. Just he stayed consistent with being. He got 100 videos out there, and by the end, he got really good at making videos. So this whole concept of prep versus outcome minded, we want to don't skip to the end and don't post things just for the end result, the likes.
Yeah, and I think this is true too, especially because we've discovered by taking a casual poll here that you guys are individual agents, which is awesome. And so what that means is, because you're doing your marketing yourselves mostly, it means that it can be easy to discourage.
Yeah.
If you feel like that your coach is sending things out and you're not getting the response that you want. But what we're here to tell you is, don't do that. You have to be consistent. And if you are consistent over time and you are process minded as opposed to outcome minded, then you will see it, right? And a lot of times, one of the questions we get asked a lot is, what's the ROI on that? And we do a lot of things where the ROI is really hard to track, because it's not necessarily about return on investment. We've already mentioned a lot of these things take very little investment. It's about mind share. So it's about staying in front of your community and your client base, so that when it comes time for them to transact business, you're the obvious choice.
Yep. And that's exactly what all 4 of these pillars, that's what we're going to talk about today. So these are 4 communication. We're not going to sit here and tell you guys how to do social media or how to make an email newsletter, Maxio. We're going to show you little implement into each of those pillars that you can start today at little to no cost, and that have transformed our marketing in those 4 things. And something that Mary Cheatham always says that I love is, we really focus on being consistent and really intentional with these 4 pillars of communication. And that's what makes our engine go. Other forms of marketing, it's me, and we have another marketing specialist who is fantastic. So there's 2 of us. So we can cover a lot of ground. As a student or as someone who it's just you doing it, focusing on these 4 things really helped us. It used to just Mary Cheatham when she was a solo agent, right? And when she brought on me, it was just me for a little bit. So this can all be done self, and it just takes that consistency.
And I think what I'd say about these 4 pillars is, these are ours. So you get to your pillars are. If you're an individual agent, the likelihood that you're going to do a magazine is probably pretty slim.
Yes.
Right. That's a big endeavor. I think we get that social media, and consistent emails are essentially free, and anybody can do that. Right. So those are things that you do. Video also is really easy to implement.
Oh, y'all see how.
So, yours could be that one of the pillars that you implement are other things, right? Or maybe you have neighborhood events. Maybe you have a food in a neighborhood that you're targeting.
Handwritten notes.
I mean, there are a million things that you can do. These are just the four that we've chosen to optimize it.
So the first one I'm going to go into is social media. And again, we're not going to be talking about how to post on social media. We're going to talk about a system that helps us create consistency with our posting. So a content category system, if you will, then our buckets. So before we show you an example, we kind of created this. There was a pain point. We didn't know what to post. So
who can relate to that? Not knowing what to post when.
And then you end up not posting anything. Yeah. So we were running into that. Do we post about real estate? Do we post about this event happening in our community? The lack of consistency came from confusion, I think. So
yeah, and I was just going to say, this reminds me that Jordan, our maps coach, says a lot, and this has to do with lead generation, but it's the same here, is that you're not call reluctant, you're value deficient. So it's not that you're not willing to put the work in, y'all are. It's just that what value are you bringing on a call? Same thing here. What value are you bringing when you are communicating with your databases? Whether it's social media or email, that kind of thing. And so just take the guesswork out of it. So again, the framework that you can apply where you create your own bucket menu. We just call it that. There are a few things consistently post about, and then all you do is just plug and play.
I'm going to show you guys just as I explain it. This is an example of our bucket system. So we created 4 categories of content that we pull from every single time we do a social media post or we put out an email. So we chose our buckets as listings, market update, anything community related, and then about our team. We're a team of 25 women, which is hysterical a lot of the time. So we like to post a little bit about that. But these are the buckets that we were like, this is the content that we want, our community to see. We want them to know that we know local experts in our market. We want them to, of course, see our listings and see what we offer, to as a valuers as well. Also, our community is a really special place, as we, you guys believe that as well here. And then our team. So pretty much we sat down, we categorized what was important, and then we made it. Does this make sense? Okay, cool.
Do you have any questions at this point?
How'd you come up with those? Within the buckets, how'd you come up with those things?
So one thing I think, this feels so long ago, but one thing that we sat down and scrolled through our feed and we were like, okay, what are things that either people are really responding to and then asking questions or commenting on the post? I think that's really important as a piece of criteria. I think something that serves your sellers is really important too. That's our listings bucket. And then just shining a light on your community idea, I think is always such huge, huge thing to grow your brand, because as you always say on social media specifically, followers, maybe 5 of your followers are interested in real estate. The rest probably aren't. At this moment, they might be in the future, and you want to, stay top of mind, other things.
And one thing I'll say about this, as far as the listings are concerned, I think we all kind of fall into a rut. Post listings and you post, here's the outside of the house, here's the kitchen, here's the, really not that interesting. Right. But check the box for your seller, right? And post it on social media. One of the things that I think that we've gotten good at doing is, number one, if it is a beautiful listing, everybody loves beauty. It's the HGTV effect, right? Everybody loves beautiful photos and that kind of thing. But then also one of the things that I do really well is that creating bullet points about kind of why do you care about this? What is it about the property? But then also I love how sometimes, like if it's the Super Bowl, they'll do a roundup of 5 of our active listings that have awesome living rooms where you might want to watch the Super Bowl. Or if it's going to be a weekend, 5 porches where you might want to have a margarita this Sunday. It's that kind of thing, so that you mix it up and make it interesting. So it's not just, hey, here's another listing, that kind of thing. Or something about color. Yeah, this shade of green, really popular color. Check it out in 3 living rooms in our active listings. And a link to each one in there. So it makes it interesting, right? And it keeps people engaged. And what are they going to post about next?
And then going along with that, the market update, posting graphics. Graphics are great with numbers. I always think those are pretty interesting. But one thing we put to do is Cheatham in her car, waiting in the carpool line. She'll just give a quick little market update. We post it through 5. Actually, we'll tell you guys how to do later. It's not actually live. But this is something that has served as our market update of, here's the average sale price, here's the, average days on market for our area, which are great. We just kind of, and it's a little bit more engaging, it get more interaction, and people seem to watch it a little bit more.
Easier. It's so much less pressure. Like just pull a few market stuff in your car and film it. It's a 60-second, 120-second video. To be clear, I'm actually not in the car when I'm in my driveway.
She batches them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one more thing I want to point out with social media with our system is, odds are, if we did a audit of our social media, right, 80% of our posts are in these 2 buckets, community and team, and maybe 20 are in our listings and market update. So big thing that as real estate, people who are focused on their market, or agents, solo agents, teams, I think a lot of the time we think we need to post about real estate all the time. While it's important, we have found that posting about your community and things that aren't real estate related will create that relationship with time comes. They'll think about you when they're ready to hire someone.
Yeah, and think about it this way, if you're doing that and then they're commenting on this content, this content's gonna show up in their feed.
Mhm.
If you spam them all the time with this content and they never engage, I'm even gonna see it.
Yep.
Right?
So in short, you don't only have to post about real estate, about other things you love, or your community, your team, your family, is just as important. We found.
And so this is a good Boys and Girls Club breakfast that we host, and this is just kind of the small businesses that donated things. It's just a community post thanking folks. And then this is a team retreat that we had. People love to, you know, what we're up to, what's going on. So if you're an individual agent, then this content could be, oh my gosh, you guys, please check out this calzone that I had today, this amazing new Italian place, right? It could be something like that, or it could be, you know, any mind that you want to share with people that could be from your perspective. It's about your life and whatnot, and not necessarily really real estate related.
Anyone have questions about social media?
Is this all on your business page, or do you put on your personal as well?
Great question. We just have our business page. Our agents do not do their own marketing on their own personal pages. They're more than welcome to, but they really rely heavily on our MCKRE page. It's interesting. I've been thinking about that a lot recently. It's just on our business.
I know, and I'm of the opinion, if you're an individual agent, that you want to have, I think if you want to have a page that is your kids, your grandkids, all that kind of stuff, and private and share it with friends and family, knock yourself out. That is not this page.
Mhm.
So whether you have two personal pages or whether you have another page, Mary Cheatham King Realtor, right? Or Mary Cheatham King Real Estate, even if it's just me, Mary Cheatham King Real, whatever it is, that's where you call this. And sure, you include some awesome photos. Had a beautiful day today with my grandkids, my kiddos. You include some of that stuff, you know, and we loved having lunch at blah, 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 you know, where that might be. But I think that people try and manage a personal account and a business account, and they try to make their business account all business and their personal account all personal. I don't agree with that. That's just my take. I think that you ought to have your public page. You have a public page, and your page should be curated in this way, where people certainly care who you are as a human being. I mean, that's part of what makes them decide whether or not they want to work with you, and they want your perspective on the market. They want to see how you're going to market their listings, right? Tired and boring. If it's innovative and fun, if it has your own flair on it, that's what gets them engaged with.
Okay. Awesome. So our next concept ties exactly into buckets. We're still utilizing bucket system, but you're into an email newsletter. So will you tell folks kind of the logistics of our email newsletter that we
Yeah, I think the first thing to say is, does everybody in here have a database?
Yeah.
That's good. That was a softball. Okay, so one of the things that is that the easiest thing to add to our database are email addresses. How many group emails have you been on in the past that you desperately want to get off of, but you can get all the email of that list, right? So even if you just have their name and their email address, I know we always say you want a complete profile. Of course you do. However, is just a name and an email address valuable? It sure is, right? It sure is. Because what you can do is, what shouldn't cost us a month?
Oh Lord.
$80?
Maybe. Perhaps.
Okay, anyway, the point is, it's a very, very small investment that we make in mail. What we use to send our emails out. We've used several other.
Yeah, constant
Bomb,
contact, slow down.
contact. Yeah, there you can do it. But what you want to focus on is building up the email addresses that you have in your database so that you can start to do a email. Now, you're an individual agent, then the likelihood of you being able to do thing that is robust, brings value every week is probably pretty slim, right? Let's just say that you want to do one a month. And that's perfectly reasonable for individual agents.
That's how we started.
That's exactly right. And it gives you a lot of time to really pull that content together. So with email newsletters, the key, ours goes out every Thursday at 6 p.m. If you want to get on our email newsletter list, we can certainly get you. And this is, I think, content creation. We talked about this. You've got your bits. So you take your being out of struggling with what it is that you're going to post about in social media, and then you do the same thing. And you same content you pull some of your best performing posts, right? Over the last month, and then you put those into your email newsletter.
And another thing with buckets, we'll show you guys an example in a second, but say you have 4 buckets, so you have 3, however many, you're just putting those straight into your email. So say you have 3 buckets, your email has 3 sections. It's your listings, it's your community, think about your family.
That's right. And to be clear, we should probably add this on here. You always want to,
I know.
you want to make sure that you have a call to action.
Mhm.
What do you want them to do? Right? I mean, what I want them to do, list their darn house with me. So what I want is to say, would you like to know how much your house is worth in today's bid? It might be more than you think, to contact me.
Such a good one.
Or call me today. That's what I want, right? But it just depends. What do you tell them? What do you want them to, and make it really easy for them to do that one thing. So, yeah, this is exactly right. We subject lines that catch your attention. That's always a struggle. What's the subject? We
Oh
look
my
at
gosh.
those and try to kind of grab those. And just create, even in the notes section on your phone, just keep a list of subject lines that you like, so that you can swipe them and use them later.
Yeah.
And then making your email send time non-negotiable.
That's so huge.
That's the thing, really. We want everything to fit, so we wait until it's perfect. It's never, I mean, you could always go back and tweak things, but if you can just decide how often you're going to send it out and stick to that, it'll make all the difference in the world.
Yep, and
This
that's
is
some
process minded.
yes, and this is something you're sending it out once a month. Maybe it's this Monday of every month at 6 o'clock. That's when you send your email out every single month. If you have it in your head, then you're stick to that. So that's something that we started implementing. We were doing it once a month for maybe a year, and then once we're comfortable with that system, we started it bi-weekly, and then from there now we do it weekly. So it's one of our biggest projects. It takes a lot of time to put together. That's why we're saying take your time and starting it. Don't overdoing it once a week. If that's something you might not be able to fit into your schedule, but once a month is a great place to start, and that's how we started ours. Great. Here's an example. This is a one. It'll scroll through. It might get a little fast, but you can see our buckets. It's our listings first. It's our team second. We have a little find of the week, which is our community. This is that's an email.
Book pick.
Yeah, book picks, and then we have a little kind of market update at the end there. So our emails are it can get a little long if you include more than one thing for each bucket, but we found that these are people that have subscribed to you. They already like and know you. It's different than social media. The people on social media probably followed you because they liked the post that you did, or you did a giveaway and they saw that it was shared friends pages, but these emails opt in every week or every month to read it. So they care what you have to say. So pack as much in as you can.
I think that's right. And I think I love is when you're sending your first one out, you want to make sure you give a little bit more background, right? Who are you? What's on? If you add a big list, like we've added social clubs in our area where we get the whole list, or different events that we attend where somebody accidentally sends a CC email and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, what are the email addresses? When you're being mindful, these are new people. They might just hit unsubscribe if you don't tell them. You have to go back and start a little bit, right? Don't dumb it down. Some of your longtime followers are disengaged, but just be mindful of what you're sending out. Yep. Who has questions about emails?
I have a question about this particular email. So the two of you do this yourself, or do you have someone that puts this together?
So in our marketing department, it's me and then Andy, who is our marketing specialist. She focuses on the East, specifically our social, anything digital really. So that's one of her big things is our emails every week. But we design these in Canva as graphics, and then we pull them into MailChimp. So you don't have to use MailChimp. You can use.
But there are templates. I mean, if you go into one of these systems, there are templates, and you drop the information in there.
Yep.
And you right here, this is to the team bucket, talking about a retreat that we had. We team goals, surprise bridal shower, or just cute. But then here, note a huge thank you to folks for being a part of our mini retreat. That's where we got all the supplies. It's a shout out. We're thanking these business Sugarloaf Elementary for our delicious lemon bundt cakes. This is where you can go to get these things. So it's from our perspective. So it's not a boring community post. It's interesting. This is actually who we used.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Any other questions?
Great. We have 2 more concepts. This one I do want to clarify. So you guys can on your way out if you want, but we produce 3 magazines a year. Well, 4 actually now again. 4 magazines a year. We print them, we mail them to our database, and we distribute them across town. However, the concept that we're about to talk about, offsetting the cost of printing, it can also be applied to events. Found that things getting very expensive. The price of paper is absurd these days. But also think about if you want a little happy hour or a neighborhood event or something like that. These concepts of partnerships and offsetting the cost can be applied whatever you're doing. Yeah, do you agree? Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Cool. One thing that we have pivoted a little bit throughout our magazine journey. I'm going to show you guys this really quick. So this is where we started with our, I think it's Microsoft Publisher.
It is not a magazine. It's a meme. It's a giant piece of paper in half.
But it was done. You did it.
We did it. Also,
You
look,
did
can you read that? I don't know what to say about
it.
the.
Might have been sitting in the sun a little bit. In 2016, this was one of the first ones that they did. And then now we print a page glossy. This
Yeah.
one's 12.
And we probably mailed the tiny one to, I don't know, 400 people.
Yep.
We just pick people, and it just, one of the things you can do is you can do a little mailer like that folds up that is about a certain neighborhood.
Yep.
Here's what's happening here. I mean, there's a million different ways to do this, but I think when people send things out in the mail, they want to make it kind of, can feel generic and it's not interesting. You want it to have your stamp on it, right? And to be from your perspective, that's what people engage.
So as the years have gone on, again, it's been about 6 years since this one. 6 years. We have kind of grown it each time. So either added pages, we made it glossy, we now mail them in a poly envelope instead of an actual envelope. So little by little, we've graduated to something like this. Of course, every time we're still, but as we've done that, it's gotten way more expensive. Obviously, you can print this on your printer, probably at the office. We can't on the printer at the office. So what we've done, instead of reaching out to, our lenders, our insurance folks, and people that we work with in the real estate realm, we started reaching out to small business owners in our community. So folks who own clothing boutiques, restaurants, or anything that makes our community special, and ask them to partner with us on things
The
like
magazine.
this. Yeah,
I mean,
or events, whatever.
And actually, those are all fun ones. We've done a physical therapist.
Yes.
We've done.
Comics guy. I mean, it's been, yeah.
Electronic solutions guy. So it doesn't, the people who have the budget to support their small business. And then what we've done is just written an article about their business. Look, I love this. This is the glass doctor.
Oh God, yes.
I mean, so that it shows up not as an ad, but it's from our perspective. Like, hey, here's why we folks. Yeah, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here's why too.
Yep.
And then this is a good one. This is a restaurant one that we did for so it looks an article that we wrote, but really they pay for it.
Yes.
And the way they pay for it is they write their check directly to the print house. So
We
when
don't
you
have to-
approach somebody to ask them for something, just a really smart thing if you think about asking somebody for something, guys, great point. This isn't just about, it could be, if you want to have a food truck in a neighborhood, it could be, hey, would you help support me in this? What you'll get out of it as $500. You get to write the check, not to me, directly to the food vendor, right? And so that way it's a write-off for you, fella. And also here's the advertising that we'll have there. You get to come there. I'll handle inviting everybody. You show the value, but that way it's reducing your out-of-pocket costs, but you're not running that money through your account.
And I think a lot of times or me specifically, I was trapped in who can we ask that we work with all the time? Those are ask insurance. Anyone, HVAC people, anyone that you guys refer a lot of business to, also think outside the box too. I think I forgot that we had, I didn't forget, but I wasn't thinking, okay, let's go ask, Ann Bar who, owns a boutique gym, or, someone who owns a rental room. Has anyone been to a rental in Morehead City? It's pretty good. They have really great cocktails, but I didn't think to reach out to those people, and more times than not, probably 9% of the time, they're thrilled that we even ask.
I think that's true, because the thing is, y'all, local small businesses have the same problems that we do.
Mhm.
So with what you're saying is you're going to do the heavy lifting, create the list, you're going to send it out, and you can show them who you're going to send it to, what the potential impact is going to be. Why would they not be happy to participate in that?
Yep. So one other hack too that we found to be helpful is if you don't want, if you're printing something, quotation to an event you're doing, whether it's a magazine or a postcard or anything like that, and you don't want to mail it, just drop it off at local business. So what we do with our magazine now is we mail to our database, which has grown. However, we get an extra 1,000 printed or 500, however many we want that quarter. And we drop them at different locations, so they keep them at their counter. We're not paying for postage, which is wildly expensive these days too. And people who come into those businesses can go and take it with them. It's just an easy way to get in front of a whole new group of people that might not be based, that reach out to you after that. So think about that too. If you want on mailing costs, think about what you can partner with to drop things off at instead.
Smart. Good.
This one's feel like it feels I don't know, magazine and events and stuff like that always feels heavy and expensive,
heavy.
but this is a really great way to help uplift your community and offset at the same time.
It's a good one. Okay, and then we're gonna move on to video.
This isn't scary.
Who uses video right now in their marketing? Great. What kind of videos do y'all do?
Property videos. Do you guys do it on your phones?
That's what I'm up to,
What you're up to? Nice.
Cool.
property or on a bike ride or whatever.
Cool. Love that.
I do real, open houses where it's just
Nice.
trending, whatever it is
Cool.
going.
Yeah. Market updates, like we said that that are 2-minute market updates in the car are a great hack.
Yeah. Do you want to share what we do?
Yeah, so what we do is, this actually started during the pandemic. We started interviewing people from IT. And we started doing it every Friday morning, and we call it Coffee with MC. So it's Meg and it's me, and we're on Facebook Live. Okay, so it used to be that we would get on Facebook at 8 a.m. on things and interview the person. So we had several times when that didn't work, right? When it didn't pan out.
It sure.
And so what we learned about is something called StreamYard. If you want to use StreamYard, it will actually batch videos, and then when you post them, it shows up as though they're live.
Which is a game changer. It's a very, they might have some free monthly subscriptions, but we pay maybe $20 a month. We use it all the time for those market updates that Mary Cheatham does. They come up as a live for these. We'll show you an example of our coffee videos. We record them via Zoom, very low production value.
Very. Yeah, the best one I choked one time, and people
Oh,
love
you'll
that.
see. You'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Link from Instagram and Facebook.
That's a great question. I feel like we haven't explored the Instagram side
I
yet.
have a hard time deciding do I post on Instagram or do I post on Facebook or do I do both?
Yeah.
And then do 2 different videos.
So, go ahead.
How do you link? No, didn't know if y'all link.
So what we do in that case, so we'll post it live on Facebook, and then what we'll do on Instagram is we'll take snippets from it and we'll create a reel. So we'll do a very shortened version of that. We found that people like the shorter, more digestible videos on Instagram, a little bit more the longer form on Facebook. If we're going to do anything long, but we'll take little snippets, maybe a funny part that happened, and we'll stack them together. And there's an app called Slice. It's free. It's great. And literally like rearrange your videos, cut them, crop them, do anything you want. And then we upload it as a reel. Yeah, that's the solution. We haven't investigated going live on Instagram through the StreamYard app, but we typically go live on and share some sort of snippet on Instagram later in the day.
So, since it's not technically live, but when you did, how do you interact with the people that are coming? Or you don't?
we do.
Okay.
Like we're online.
Oh, you're online. Okay.
Yep. So if people comment, we're responding right away. But if someone is like, hey, like I have a question, we can't answer it, but we'll
Yeah. Okay.
and then something that Jordan, just to wrap section up before we show you the example, we had wanted to do something like this for a long time, and the pandemic to kind of light the fire, but we always wanted to do the professional cameras, perfect lighting, great audio, And we found that just done is better than perfect in this scenario. Getting the value out there, community members into our, social media realm is better than it being perfect. And you guys see, you'll see the connection's not great. The audio might be out sometimes, and that's okay.
And I think people like to see the personalities of who they're getting with in real life. I think that's a big thing. And I also think that people love the community aspect, because it's always the community that we're interviewing. Somebody who's opening a new business, or somebody, gosh, I mean, we do all kinds of things.
Events to launch their events on this. Yep,
That's exactly right. Somebody who's hosting a big event, nonprofits, that kind of thing. People really like it. Now they reach out to us and say, hey, can I schedule a time to be on? So that we can get that exposure out there, which is really a cool thing.
Yep. We'll show you an example, and then I'm happy to share. We have like an email template that we send every guest with kind of like up with good Wi-Fi and decent lighting, and just little best practices that we send out. To share that too, if you guys are interested. This video is about 4 minutes, starts with bloopers, ends with little tear jerk. You can hear it. Oh. Is there a way to turn up the audio?
This was actually during the pandemic, so we're in different offices, right? So
Oh yeah, now we do them together.
right now we
Forgot
do it
about that.
together. We sit side by side. To always start with just kind of the two of us talking about our guests.
Good. But Hal and I were in the hospital together. No way. Oh, yeah. I did not know that. Oh, yeah. Literally, yeah, or one day apart. Only to see the kind of the top of her sweater. Ooh. Wow. The husband would text me like, okay, I'm out. And then, well, here's the secret that you've had to keep the past month. We have that I've not done a video for yet.
Mary Cheatham cut her son's hair online, Facebook Live.
We'll use whatever you decide. We trust you. I either want Jeffersons or Golden Girls, but I don't know why this is hard for me. Okay, I think I got
There
it.
it is.
Valentine's romantic way. I mean, Valentine's what day, and like like let's have mimosas kind of way. I'm gonna be able to like carry my conversation. I'm gonna be like, let's talk about sports.
Even like in a convertible driving into work to start the show.
Well, are you supposed to yell?
I'm still scarred.
Yell definitely won't get the little tiny bit. I did so good.
Yeah, they're helping us put together centerpieces for Christmas.
Uh-oh, yeah, I can't hear you. Are you there?
Very low production value.
This is live. people.
I was like, everything you said all week. But I mean, you know, almost. Cats and coffee. Cat ladies and coffee.
This is the educated debutante. If y'all see her.
Good.
Our local wine shop owner telling us about his favorite wine.
Faces always fit right between the bottles.
Unless he's at the gym, in which case, do not make eye contact. Keep walking, you can wave, give him a little pat on the head after COVID dinner, but that's it. Yeah, I'm hoping that people have enjoyed reading them half as much as we've enjoyed.
Like cat came.
Oh my God, it's called Overcoat, or what else should be in it?
Again, live.
This is my sister.
There were never such good.
And then we send a question at the end of every episode. So this
What
is
is
kind of
saving your life right now? What is saving your life right now? What is saving your life right now?
That's a pretty big question. And I have to say that it is love.
I mean, I think it's a pretty broad answer, but I think just stories
A
of
local
hope.
pastor.
It's helping people like you.
Our
It's
coach.
conversations that I get to have every day.
My dad.
Dude, it's like in the ocean. Y'all get to live here and I don't, but I mean, I think I would have gone crazy.
To these little guys. Kind of like, I'm gonna play the season, doing a whole lot of drinking, so.
And trust my intuition. And if it's not a resentment, yes, then it's a no, and I don't have to explain it to anybody.
And Meg, being able to see her succeed.
We're not trying, it's fine.
You guys together to see this one day, when your kids grow up to be young adults and they start having these adult comments. That's one of the most moments you could ever have. So What's saving my life? Family, easily.
I think the moments where you feel that you're seen. Yeah, you know, how I feel about this moment, just, you know, just feeling like, man, you know, like, I don't know, like, just feeling kind of seen. What if this hard you're going through, what if this thing that has happened to you is actually happening? So, you know, who are you becoming as you're navigating this difficult time, whether it's a difficult day or a difficult hour or a difficult season or whatever it is?
Yeah.
You know, what if you can shift your mindset to see this is happening for you?
Oh, that's so abrupt.
So as you guys can see, it's, you know, it's not perfect. And, we think that that's what makes it special. So, if I could go back to when I first started and this was just a little inkling of an idea and we did it off for so long, it wasn't perfect. I wish I could tell myself it doesn't have to be. So, yeah,
That's the mistake we made, was waiting until we really had it right. So I mean, think about, you know, you could drive to any local small business or anybody who's putting on an event. I mean, think about how much value your person. That's the other thing. It's not only just about people who get to watch the video and even if it's 3 people get to know you better, but think about the fact that you're out and trying to bring value to people in your community by interviewing them and by helping to spread the word about their event or their business or whatever it is that they have on their mind.
yeah. And also, this is not the goal of Coffee with MC by any means, but we just got our first listing. So one of our guests, you know, listed
Yeah.
her house the other day because, you know, Coffee with MC a year ago, the point of it, but it can, you know, come back and benefit you business wise down the road as well.
Right.
So we have one more thing to share. However, just to wrap up, you know, all the pillars that we were just talking about, I think the main thing is determine your buckets, determine your categories, consistency. It'll serve you all throughout whatever marketing avenues that you decide on. But if you feed for pillars of marketing, whatever you choose, that's what makes your engine. You can add other things on, but when you really focus on going deep on just a small amount of things, I think that's
Consistency. Yeah, being consistent in a few things instead of being inconsistent in a lot of things.
Yes. So want to explain the rest?
Yes, I do. And I think before we one, does anybody have any
Good question.
about our kind of the way we approach marketing? Anybody have any?
It can be logistic questions.
Yeah, anything?
And again, we have 2 folks on the marketing team. Mary Cheatham is extremely creative and throws out all of these ideas all the time. And we always joke, but it's true. Is to take them out of the air and put them down on paper. So it's certainly a team effort in terms of, you know, Mary involved, 2 marketing folks, our director of ops is very involved. So this is something that we don't do as one person, but something that we did do as one person at one point.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's an evolution. So, two things that we want to say to you guys, two ways that y'all can help us. The first is, of course, if y'all referrals down to Carteret County, we would love to work with your folks. We promise to take great care of them. Again, that's Atlantic Beach, Beaufort, Pine Knoll Shores, Emerald Isle, that whole area. And then the second thing is that Meg and I actually going to start a little marketing company. And so one way that you guys can help is if you scan this, take you to a little questionnaire. We just want to know what folks need. We love doing this and figuring out solutions for people, kind of rolling up our sleeve in there. And so this is something that is kind of a labor of love from us that we're really excited about. But this QR code will take you to a questionnaire that says, like, kind of what would you need? You know, is it that you guys need, would you want us to email signatures and your listing presentation, or is it that you really want a consultation about how you should approach things, or is it, you know, kind of understanding what's out there? So if y'all have any insights for us, we would love it because we just want to learn.
Yep. And it's funny because we were putting together an outline of how everything should be logistically with, you know, this marketing company, but then we kind of scrapped it. We were like, just ask people what they want,
right?
Yep.
I mean, that's really
so even if you guys, I mean, we'd appreciate any feedback or that, what you guys need or want, and we really appreciate the time.
I think y'all coming. We hope that was helpful.
Yes. Did anyone have it?
It Beaufort, the town, not Beaufort County.
Beaufort, the little city that's right on the water in Carteret County.
Oh, okay.
And it's confusing, isn't it?
It's all of Carteret County, yes,
Carteret County.
exactly right. That's right. Thank
It's
you.
not confusing to those of us who are from Beaufort County.
We got it straight. That's exactly. It's like the Beaufort thing. People get so confused. It's not that confusing. But I mean, there's a lot. It's not- Yeah. Yeah. Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for your time.
Magazine, you're more than welcome to up here. Don't feel like you have to, but feel free. We never know whether I'm going to. I'm about to walk across the. Now.